Okay.
Oh shit.
You sick, man?
Yeah, it's a fucking
You sound a little under the weather.
yeah. I've been battling like a cough for like almost 3 weeks that I got at my son's soccer practice because it
Mm,
started to drizzle and I pinpointed it. I was like, this is the day when that shit hit.
oh, damn.
And I didn't have an umbrella or a hat or anything. So it just like landed on my fucking balding head. And yeah, but then
You're just gonna have to embrace the full baldy one of these days, man.
yo, I'm thinking about it. You see this shit right now, son? This shit
Yeah.
is light as fuck. Yo, I've been seriously contemplating. I wanted to ask both of y'all since y'all went bald. Like, what was that turning point? Even though he's not here yet, what was the turning point for you? Like, when did you figure, yo, I'm holding on too long right now?
As soon as I saw that the damn well a long time ago, it was like one of my boys was cutting my hair and then he fucked up on it. And
Oh,
then he fucked up to the point where it was like, all right, just shave it all off. Because I had never had uh I had like a
a
I had
fade,
like a yeah, I had a fade, but then at one point in time I had like a not like a Caesar, but like a low cut. And I
like
was
a
like, all right,
blowout.
this looks all right, you know. Like nah, real like a real low cut. And I'm
Okay,
like, oh, okay. I guess my head shape is okay, you know.
that's the
So
thing too. It's like because yo, my like I see some folks when they got the baldy, it's
yeah,
like an eternal forehead,
right.
right? Like that shit just keeps. So I'm afraid like maybe that's my joint.
Yeah, I mean, so I did that and then trying to think, and then I grew it back out again. And but then once I started seeing that my hairline was going back and I could see like the back part happening too, I could see it in two different areas.
Yeah.
And I was to my for me, I was just like, man, I'm not gonna. That shit's gonna make me even look older if I'm holding on to my hair. So let me just,
So you just bicked it.
yeah, let me just be done with it.
No remorse. You were just like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Ah, damn, son, you brave.
Yeah, actually, that feels good. Like
Not
I
to have to
prefer
worry
it.
about that shit.
I mean, it's still you still gotta straight razor and all that stuff,
Right. Get a
but
couple
yeah,
cuts here and there and deal
uh-huh,
through that, deal with the process.
yeah, yeah.
All right. My barber refuses. Now,
Really? Why?
granted, I tell him, I'm like, of course you don't want me to cut all my hair off. Like, that's one less client for you.
True, right? Okay, there you
I
go.
mean, I'm gonna still see him for my beard and whatnot,
Right.
but I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, because he's bald, and he's like, yo, man, like this is what happened to me. And he was like, there was
Right.
one moment where he just decided, yo, let me just shave it all off just to
And then it
see if it
never
grows
came back.
back, and it never
Yeah.
came back.
Well, you definitely run that risk too. I mean, I saw, he used to hold he held on for a minute, even though he had the super low cut, he didn't go
Yeah.
fully, but it wasn't until recently that he started shining.
Yo, man, I think I need one shit. Now I'm asking for it right now, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I think I need one proper insult or somebody being like, "Yo, son, what's going on?" Because I feel like people are just too nice, right? So they're like, "Oh man, he's trying over there. He's trying to put glue together the three little strands of hair he got to try to
Yeah,
make
well,
something work."
I'd say given and this is just being nice, but I'm saying given 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 where you're at and how I can see it's going away. Once you
Bye.
shave it, you better just say goodbye to it because there's gonna be some other spots that aren't coming back. So,
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Thank you, Kay. Fucker.
uh-huh. And fuck it, as long as you like yourself in a hat, then you'd be all right.
Yo, honestly, like, I mean, my father's bald. He's been bald since I can remember, and he was rocking like the bald in the front here, and then
Uh,
like on the side
my,
hair
my
joint.
my my son calls that the swamp.
Oh shit, yeah, yeah,
Yes, I'll never do the swamp.
yeah. So he had that forever.
Yeah,
He's completely bald now, but he had
yeah.
that forever. So that was I was used to seeing.
I can never figure out that one. That just makes you look. I mean, look,
Yeah,
no offense to whoever rocks it, because that's you. For me, it always makes that person look older than they are.
I agree. It was the George Jefferson. Like for
Right.
people listening, like that's if you could track back to him, like that was the look. And I agree with you. It was like it's like shit or get off the pot.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't be both.
Yeah.
But damn, that's not what I was expecting to talk about. And look where we went.
Okay. Yeah. We veered off a little bit, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all
It's
right.
fatherhood, bro. That shit.
Yep.
I bet you there's a lot of people listening right now that are contemplating the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are, drop a comment. Tell me what you're about to do because I'm about to make a very rash decision in the coming weeks.
I think you should go for it, man.
All
Or
right.
take a poll with your kids. See what they say.
They're not. It's funny, man. They're all over the place. Like I'll be asking, yo, should I shave off my beard? And they're like, yeah, one day, and then nah, the next day. So I'm like, yo, if I would have took to it,
Right.
would have been a wrap.
Right.
I think they're gonna say no to the hair thing, even though if they're really honest with me, they'd be like, "Yo, Dad, you just in the struggle zone, bro. Like,
But
get
see,
rid
you
of
know
that
what you
shit."
got going for you is you got the full beard. So if you have the baldy and the full beard, that's kind of a
I think that
precise
works.
look. Yeah.
You don't want to see me without a beard or a mustache. Let me just tell you that right now.
It's when you know that yeah, the total bald face and head, that's another story.
But it'll take me back like 10 years. I'm sure I'll look mad young. All
Maybe.
right, that's the bald.
Depending if your chin is sagging or not.
You got the triple chins.
Right.
Um. So what's been going on with you, Kay?
Man, just one of those weeks.
Yeah, man.
I was pretty impressed with the guests you brought in last week. I think
Oh,
Garen, right?
Garen Jones.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
He
have
fired me up. I like what he was. I like some of his advice.
that's interesting because I try to throw when I have an opportunity to meet certain people, I try to bring them into our world here on the fatherhoods because different perspectives obviously I think are beneficial on the whole.
Yeah,
But somebody like Garen and even somebody like Andrew Horn that we had several episodes ago might come off a little woo woo for some folks, right? And so I'm always a little skeptical. And you guys are a great litmus test too, because like you and E feel that stuff a little bit differently
well,
sometimes.
look, for me, it's like I take look, everyone's got their own perspective on things, and so I take it all with a grain of salt, like you know. And for me, even if someone's got like, because sometimes if let's say you got like kind of like a gregarious personality, and sometimes people could that could be off-putting, right? And but you're dropping gems,
Yeah.
so it's like, all right, let me focus in on the gems here and put aside whatever else it might be. But no, I thought he had some. Look, I always like hearing a story of where someone is kind of is down and they're able to pull themselves back up,
Yeah.
and then to be able to inspire others from that is pretty good. And no, he had some good advice, some good things.
You said he fired you up. What's the thing that really got you like honed
I
in?
I think just in terms of like as it pertains to my son, trying to remember what he said, but I, how do you phrase it? They don't know what they can't see,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And his whole Superman analogy of like, so when negative thoughts come in for like a kid, you got to give him that extra push 10 times so that it just continues to
The
kind of flow
momentum.
within them. Yeah, the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took that a bit. I took that to heart, and just in terms of like, all right, you know, what's he seeing around the house? Like, how are we acting around the house? Like, um, if he's getting in like a nervous episode or worrying or something like that, like it's one thing to tackle it there and talk about it and try to smooth it over, but like, what else are we doing so that he can see and he can kind of mimic just 24/7 to give him that kind of constant momentum. So it made me just kind of be a little bit more mindful of like, all right, you know, let me pump myself up a little bit too, right? So that um so that he speaks it into existence for himself as well if he sees other people doing it. So just just again being more mindful of that whole garbage in, garbage out. It's not like we walk around here moping or any of that kind of shit. But like if we can be a little bit more mindful of, let's plant some more positive, courageous seeds in the whole environment, and so he can just keep picking up on it. That's kind of what got me going.
So it raised your level of awareness
Yeah,
in
yeah.
kind of how you guys function in your household. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
deep.
and just like function, but also like, hey, these are additional ways to help teaching some things without necessarily sitting him down when he's in you know, having an issue or something.
Yeah,
Like how can we pre-plan, and how can we just plant some, just keep fortifying him, you know?
yeah, that's deep. It's deep. If you haven't listened to the episode, it's episode 270 with Garen Jones. Go check that out. It was the one prior to this one that you're listening to. That was give you all the context Kay and I were just discussing.
What's up, E?
So, oh, yeah, I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, fuck it. I can hear you.
you.
No, I couldn't hear my voice. I'm used to hearing my voice in the headphones, but I don't hear.
Okay.
Bro, you got the fucking museum on Smash right now in that room.
Yeah, it's my home office.
Jesus, that shit, did it grow? I think 2 weeks ago we did that mic check.
No,
But
same stuff.
It was dark though, so I couldn't see everything.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was at night and I put on was it at night? Oh no, I just turned on those lights.
Oh, right.
Oh no, it was at night. I don't know, bro. I'm lost right now. Obviously, I came here late. I'm lost. I don't know where I'm at.
Hey, how was your first solo outing with the kids?
Well, you've obviously been alone with your son, right? And then you've been alone with all the kids, Manny?
Yeah.
For how long, Kay?
Me, it was close to 2 weeks.
Wow. Well, yeah, because your wife would travel overseas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do. I don't think I've been.
When he was young, like
when he was little.
Yeah.
Nah, I haven't been by myself with all 3 kids for. I don't think it's even been a whole weekend, to be honest.
Wow.
Maybe a day and a half, something like that.
Yeah. So this was 3 nights with them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, it was
took him to Drink Champs.
Nah. I mean, look, I went in like I'm mentally prepared for this. Like,
yeah, you got to,
you know, because both of my kids they're going through some weird phase where my daughter's, you know, kind of tripping, learning things in school, and then my son, he's entered the three-nager stage. So my sweet boy has turned into a little animal maniac at times, and so I was like, all right, I got to be mentally prepared for this. Because when it's 2 of them, you know, it's 2 different. It goes all kinds of ways at the same time. But not everything I think went all right. You know, like everything was planned out to a degree, and you know, I had one night my daughter had a meltdown, and then one morning my son had a meltdown. Like he has this weird thing with like we'll drive them around to see decorations, Halloween decorations. And I've been doing that since they were little with Halloween and with Christmas. But all of a sudden, this dude, he's like obsessed with it. He's like, every time we get in the car or anytime, he's like, he goes, decorations. I want to see decorations. And this one morning while my wife's out of town, he wakes up at like 6 something in the morning, and sweet boy, he comes over to my bed. He lays down. You know, I'm like trying to like stay asleep, and I'm like, you know, sit back, man. And he's like, decorations, all nice, and I'm like, no, Papa, no, you know, it's too early. There's no. He goes, decorations,
Oh, shit.
and my daughter's sleeping in the next room. I'm like, yo, shut up! And I like lost my shit for a second, and I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? Yo, he had a tantrum for like 30 minutes.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, dude, you better grow up and be like the world's best, you know, decoration maker or something, bro, because I don't understand this. But
you should have just brought him into your office there and said, here's decoration. Like, check it out.
Well, I tell him this, you know, my daughter not as much, but he wants to like because there's toys in here, you know.
Right.
So
Oh,
he's like,
yeah, sure. Right.
he wants it. So I just tell him, you know, this is all gonna be you and your sisters, you know, when daddy's not here
Yeah.
anymore. So
Nice.
I say when they're bigger, not when daddy's
Right.
not here anymore. So when he comes in and looks at him, I just go, remember, it's yours. He goes, oh.
Right.
But anyways, no, everything was cool, man. Everything, you know,
I got to say, I'm sure it gives you a boost of confidence. Like, I mean, it did for me, even though it was scary at times because I'm just kind of out of sorts, especially when they're a little younger. But I mean, it gave me the confidence of like, oh, okay, I can do this, or I can travel with them if I need to on my own, or you know, move around without feeling all like freaked out about it.
I think the most important thing, I mean, you're right. It did give me a boost of confidence, but I try to look forward to it. Like I mentally prepared. I looked forward to it. I wanted to have this time alone with them. I needed this time alone with them. My wife needed her time to do her thing. This is the first time she's traveled since we've had kids on her own.
Right. Okay.
She needed this leisurely time.
Mm-hmm.
But what I decided is that I'm not gonna try to do, and I was telling my wife this because she was all like running through like, well, you need to do this, and this has to be like this. And I go, look, you know, I'm gonna follow, you know, the schedule as best as possible and try to maintain the status quo. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna do things my way. You're not here. You go do you, disconnect, enjoy yourself. The kids are gonna be fine, but it's gonna have to be my way. And that's what I did. You know, I just try to do it, you know, the remix.
Mm-hmm.
Remix. Now, go ahead.
No, did they get off schedule in any way when she got back? Like, did she notice anything about their routine that might have changed or made it harder for her?
Nah, not really. There was nothing really that because I really kept them pretty on point to our regular schedule. Because schedule wise, you know, not much could change. The only thing that they got extra was that on the Friday when she wasn't here after. So one of the things that kind of threw a curveball is that my daughter had, you know, had a day off of school. It was like a holiday for her in public schools, and he goes to, you know, his private daycare school, whatever preschool thing. And so I had to like last minute be like, he's like, well, why aren't we dropping off my sister? And I'm like, no, we're gonna drop you off first. He's like, but why? And then I told her, you know, we're not gonna lie to your brother, but just don't make a big deal about not going to school. And then she's like, I'm not going to school. And I'm like, and he's like, what? Huh? What? Huh? What? And I'm like, no. I'm like, oh, Halloween candy. Remember that?
Decorations.
And it kind of threw him off for enough time to get him to school. And then, and so that was like a little curveball. And then after that, after we picked them up, they had like you know, you guys have My Gym, right? You guys know about My Gym, that place.
Yeah, you told me about it. Yeah.
Well, they have franchises all over the country, but it's like a place that you could take kids and they do all kinds of activities. So they had a Halloween party at that spot that I took both of them. And so that was the only thing outside of like the regular schedule. But in the next day, I had to take her to dance classes. I took them to the park, which we usually, you know, would do on the weekends as well. And then, you know, it's just time with dad. Like however dad makes lunch, however dad gives snacks, however dad. Now, what I will say is I did have a secret weapon, which is Halloween and Halloween candy. You know, we're not letting them eat like a ton of candy, but unfortunately, they're exposed to it during this Halloween. And for some reason, let me ask you guys, does it feel like Halloween is now like a 2-week, 3-week ordeal versus the one day?
Not over here.
Nah, it was
oh man, it's like they've been doing Halloween activities in the school for both of them like 2 weeks out. Like they had
they set y'all up for failure.
Well, you know, but also your kids are a little younger, so I think if I remember, there was probably more lead up on some of these things when
like they had dress up day one day at her school the week before. Then they had trunk or treat at her school the weekend before Halloween. Then he had dress up day in his school, and then we had our side Halloween party before Halloween. Then we had our neighborhood Halloween event before Halloween, and then we had Halloween. And then the school, another thing that's bugging me out is that her public school, like they give candy there, like on a regular.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Like that's mind-boggling to me. We don't really give much candy in the house, and now my daughter's becoming a candy fiend, and by proxy, my son, because she's exposed to candy in school. Like they give it to them as incentive treats, or treats at the end of the
Oh,
week, or
damn.
treats at the end of the day. And so yeah, so now because of that, you know, I was able to use the candy, as like, well, if you guys are good, or if you do this, or if you do that, you could have a candy at the end of the day, or after the activity. And so that kind of persuaded them to be in a better behavior than they might have been potentially. So
So you cheated your way through the weekend.
yeah, a little bit. But I mean, it wasn't much, so I don't feel
Yeah.
like it's much of a cheat. It's not like I gave him a hoard of candy.
So I had last weekend I had an opportunity to go see a football game at West Point, the military
Nice.
university, right? And so for that, I took all three kids, and I was there. I was away from the house for like, I don't know, 5 hours or something like that. My wife was sick, and so she kept insisting on me not taking my youngest, who doesn't give a shit about sports, and it's typically the one that creates the most chaos when we're out, when she's not comfortable. But I was like, yo, you're not feeling well. Like, let me just do it. And she kept like fighting me on me taking all three of them. And I was like, yo, why are you being so stubborn? Like, what's going on? And I kind of, she didn't say it, but I felt it. It was kind of like, yo, I don't think you can handle all three kids by yourself. Like, that's
Okay.
kind of the vibe I got, right? So I'm like, yo, fuck it. Like, I can do this. Don't worry about it. And so, it kind of like challenged me. And then when you try to tell me I can't, I'm like, nah, I can. Watch. Let me go do it. So I was like, yo, fuck it. We're doing it. She finally said yes. I grabbed my youngest and I spoke to her and I was like, listen, we about to go do this thing. We're going with some friends. I need you to be on your best behavior. I can't talk to you more than twice when we're out with these people. And this, it's a football stadium, so it's a lot of people. There's a lot going on, so it could easily turn, go the wrong way. And I literally spoke to her just once, and she was cool the whole rest of the way. And and she's not one that wants to walk. We had to walk quite a bit. The football game's not that interesting to her. Like, she kept it cool. I was able to like keep my patience high because I knew the circumstances were not going to be the best for her, but we pulled through and we got through it. So like when we talk about this whole like being alone, I've encouraged my wife. I'm like, yo, go. She's got family in Miami. Go take a trip to Miami. Go spend a week over there. And she can't, because in her mind she's like, yo, the house is gonna be upside down because I'm the one in charge.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm trying to encourage it as well. I want more of this time. The one hurdle I will tell you, or obstacle that happens when you have multiples, especially when you're out in public, is like when they got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
fun.
especially when it's a boy and a girl, and I'm a man, so it's like, it's kind of like that becomes a little difficult. And if one doesn't have to go and one does, and it's like different things. We were in that my gym party. My son had to go to the bathroom, and although my daughter's fine and she's in that environment and there's like teachers or whatever, there's people there, you still don't want to leave her alone. She could fall, hurt herself. I kind of just want to be there. But what I did is, luckily, the people that work there, they know us. There was a mother there that we know of, her and her son. So I just, my son had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, hey, do you mind watching my daughter? We're gonna be in the bathroom in case something happens out of the blue. And they were like, yeah, no problem. And then the same thing, we were at a restaurant. I took them to go eat with the three amigos, with Drain and Charlie. And we went to eat hibachi, which my wife isn't necessarily a fan of. So I said, all right, cool, she's not here, let me take them to do that. And they got to hang out with their uncles. And my daughter, all of a sudden, she's like, she got to go take a shit.
Always when the food comes.
Right. Just take a shit. And then my son's like, well, fuck it, I gotta take a piss. And I'm like, oh God. And I'm like, God damn, and they're at the age, we're not bringing much stuff with us, like, well, I'm not bringing like change of clothes and too many wipes, but I anticipated something, in my luck, something will happen. So I had my fly dad bag.
Yes, sir. Shameless plug.
And I had wipes, and I had a change of clothes, and I don't know if I told you guys, but I had buy these toilet covers, that I take, travel toilet covers. And so So boom, went to the bathroom. I had to go in the men's. So at first I'm like, okay, you guys wait here. I look inside, make sure there's no creepos in there. All right, the stall's open. Let's go. Make a run for it. Go into the stall. Then she takes her dump, clean her up, watching them really careful. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Then my son, he takes a piss, and we all wash our hands. And then someone, of course, walks in the other side, and I'm like, damn, hold up. Let the guy take a piss. Let him flush the toilet. He's washing his hands. All right, we can go out now. Like,
So y'all were all in the same stall.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, it was
cool.
one of those like bigger stalls, you know.
Yeah. But that was gonna be my question, because like at a certain age, at least us, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, but we try not to have them see each other, right? Like the private parts. But in cases like that, I've been stuck in that situation a few times. It's like whatever. It's like, yo, we're gonna huddle up in here. Each one of you take a turn and just like chill.
Well, what age did you stop doing? I mean, we're still at the age where they still see each other. You know, like sometimes if we're in a hurry, they even have to take a bath together.
Yeah, we tried to push it, and then we kind of looked at each other and like, yo, just like let them naturally figure it out when they're comfortable, like not wanting to see each other. And so my son, he's 10. There's moments where he'll like run from his room, covering his balls and shit with his hands,
Right.
but then his ass is out trying to run to the bathroom. But it's frequent. And then my youngest, she doesn't give a shit yet. So we kind of just let, it's all innocent and it's fine. So it's cool. But they know, like in a public setting, that's more of our concern.
Right.
But in the house, we kind of just let them figure it out.
We've always done this thing where we just say privacy, and I always kind of make like I don't make it weird for them, but I'm always like when they're naked in front of us, I'm like privacy, and privacy, and I like look away like, hey, privacy, and then they go privacy and they cover themselves. If one of them is in front of each other and they're a little too close, I'm like, hey, privacy.
Yeah. But the struggle for me is like you're kind of creating you're putting shame on it, right?
There's no wrong or right about it.
I know.
You're just figuring it out.
Yeah, and that's why we kind of left it up to them. It's like, yo, here are the boundaries. Like within the boundaries, like y'all are good, but at some point it just wears away. Because
the flip side of it is you'll have like where there's no inhibition. And they're free. Like one time early on, it was a while ago now, but my daughter, because they're used to like being a little bit freer in the home, and we were like, oh, you got to change clothes. Like we told her, I don't know what point it was, like coming out of class or something like that, and she's like, okay, and she started like taking her pants down, like right where we told her that. I'm like, no, we're not doing it here.
Yo, I think we could probably wrap, because I know Kay, you got shit going on,
and I came late. I
all
came
good.
Cuban time, definitely Cuban time.
You're fucking tardy Tony over there. But actually, before we go, we started the conversation about balding, because as you can see, shit is getting real thin up in this thing.
Yeah, I was telling him it's probably a good look to just do it.
Just get it over.
I mean, he still got a little something. He could.
See, that's what my barber keeps saying, but I'm like, yo, this is like...
Nah, don't listen to your barber. My barber kept saying that and I was like, at one point, and then I looked back and I go, why did I keep getting a fade?
Yeah, exactly. It's in his best interest to keep my hair on my head. But now I might drop it to a Caesar, see what that looks like, and if that shit is all patchy, then...
But stop wearing that weird gel, bro.
No, there's no gel. That's a little pomade, okay? Pomade. It's not a gel.
Vaseline?
No, chill, son. All right, well.
All right, guys.
I'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, take it easy, guys.
Later.